Hi, my name is Will Hesketh and this is Functional Yoga. So just your usual reminders: make space to practice, make time to be present with your practice. So remove distractions, be as playful as you possibly can, be as grateful as you possibly can towards yourself, for everything. Be as compassionate as you can, again, towards yourself, towards everything. You're amazing, it's amazing, life's amazing. Let's just enjoy it and go through some movements and feel good. This week's focus is balance. This is the second class of the balance week and we're ramping it up a bit. We're going to be doing an inversion and an arm balance today. So don't force anything. Don't be scared to do the class because there's plenty of other alternatives. We can be working towards it. If you're wanting to do an arm balance, this is the class to repeat. Just keep doing it until you've built the strength and the mobility to be able to get there. But don't just go for it. Really not a great idea. I've done it over the years as I've tried to do things and I've nearly always injured myself. So really be careful. Make sure you feel very safe to give something a go. Don't force it. Take your time. Okay, let's get going. Whenever you're ready, just bring yourself down onto your back. We're going to start with a nice bit of mobility through the spine. So just nice mellow stuff. Just inhale, gently allow your lower back to arch. Exhale, very gently allow your lower back to come down to the mat. So just gently arching as you inhale and tucking as you exhale. Inhale, gently arch. Exhale, gently tuck. Inhale, gently arch. Feel the diaphragm draw down into the belly area. Exhale, tuck. Keep the tuck now. And then see if you can peel up through the spine, bottom towards the top. Big inhale, and then exhale. See if you can feel each vertebra touching down on the floor as you go. Inhale, gently arch. Exhale, gently tuck. Peeling your way up as you inhale. Lowering your way down as you exhale. Two more. Inhale, gently arch. Exhale, gently tuck. Peeling your way up as you inhale. Lowering your way down as you exhale. Last one. Inhale, gently arch. Exhale, gently tuck. Peeling your way up as you inhale. And lowering your way down. Really feel your way, each vertebra just touching down onto the mat, getting things moving in the spine. Walking the feet to the width of the mat when you're ready. Gently let the knees go to one side as you exhale. Inhale, come back to the center. Gently let the knees go to the other side as you exhale. Just feeling your way through, going as far as feels comfortable, never forcing. Being with each breath as it happens. Flowing through the movements. If it feels like your head wants to come along, by all means take it with you. Or if you want to turn your head in the opposite direction, you could do that. Just getting that gentle rotation through the spine, feeling your way through it. If you're happy closing the eyes, close the eyes. Whenever you're ready and you're feeling even on both sides, you're just going to flatten out onto the mat, straighten those legs out, arms above the head, and then just very gently stretch down one side of the body. So reach one heel away and one arm away, same arm as leg, and then same thing on the other side, just gently, nice gentle side bends through the spine. Feel it moving, feel the pelvis moving, feel that upper back moving, that lower back, getting it all gliding side to side. Whenever you're feeling even and ready, gradually bring the knees into the chest, hug them in, have a little rock side to side, have a little rock front to back. Just get some movement happening there. Make sure it feels nice. If it doesn't feel nice, don't do it, remember. And then in your own time, we're going to come to all fours. You could roll through the spine a few times and roll to seated, swing your legs around. You could roll straight to a standing position and come over to all fours if you wanted to. So we're going to do a glide backwards and forwards, just keeping the knees hip width, keeping the feet hip width, tucking the toes one time, putting the top of the foot down another time. And then we're going to change it now and bring it into something that's going to help us develop for arm balance and for headstand. So if you could put your elbows onto the mat, keep them shoulder width, have your wrists shoulder width as well, and as you exhale, just gently glide back, and inhale, bring your way forwards. As you exhale, glide back and draw the rib cage down towards the pelvis. Inhale, come forwards. Don't let those wrists come in, don't let those elbows splay out. Try and keep that alignment as you go. Nice and steady, gliding through, readjusting as you need to. You could start to walk the knees a bit further back and challenge yourself through that. So then you start to work into the strengthening as well as the stretching. The strengthening as well is keeping those elbows in. So those wrists will come inwards, those elbows will splay outwards if you don't keep what's called serratus anterior, the muscle around the side here that draws the shoulder blades wide. If that's not engaged, then you're going to start to get this sort of thing happening, collapsing down into the shoulders and the arms, moving outwards. This strength here is really, really important for what we're going to be coming to later, so just give it a go. And then whenever you're ready, walking the hands back towards the knees, give the hands a little bit of a shake out. Turn the palms forwards and just have a very gentle little stretch through the palm, through the wrist, through the forearm. Gliding through, you can bend and straighten the arms a little to make it more and less intense. You can come up onto the fingertips and bend and straighten. You can put the palms down and bend and straighten. Just feeling your way through, nice and slowly, getting some mobility there, getting some stretch, gentle. And we're basically doing the opposite of what we tend to do a lot of, which is be in this position. We're doing the opposite like this. Okay, whenever you're ready, do this with the hands. Get the hands warmed up, get the wrists warmed up, the forearms. Try the thumbs. Just the fingers, first fingers. And then the middle fingers, careful where you point them. And then your ring fingers. And then your little fingers. And then all of them together again. Have a little shake out. So then we come back to our all fours. So back in your all fours. Now we're going to start to build a little bit of core into this, a little bit of connection between the rib cage and the pelvis. So now see if you can keep your right ribs pulling down towards your left hip and your left ribs pulling down towards your right hip. See if you can imagine that, those obliques firing up, the TVA side to side, the corset muscle. And then exhale, slide one leg back, inhale, bring it forward. Exhale, slide the other leg back, inhale, bring it forwards. So we're trying to stay as still as we possibly can as we slide the leg back so the bum doesn't move. And then if you can, we're going to see if we could add the opposite arm. So as you reach the right leg back, the left arm goes forwards, and then as you come back, the left leg goes back, right arm goes forwards, just feeling your way through. Feeling your way through a couple more, feeling that connection through the abdominal muscles. Really working on keeping your balance and your support through your core muscles. So that's where the balance is coming into this. You're taking two of your supporting limbs away. And we're seeing if we can pick up the slack with the abdominal muscles so that we don't start swinging to the side and moving around as we're doing it. Really nice, solid position through the core. So now we've looked a little bit at the core, now we need to look a bit at shoulder stability. So just see if you could lower your chest towards the floor without bending your arms. So see if you could allow your shoulder blades to draw towards each other. And then see if you could push your shoulder blades away from each other. So you lower towards the floor and you push away. And then we add in a little bit of a shrug of the shoulders and a relax down of the shoulders. So as you lower down towards the floor, you keep the arms straight. Remember, it's not a press up. Then you draw the shoulders down the back and then you push up and then you shrug the shoulders up. So down, draw the shoulders down the back, push up, shrug the shoulders up. So we start to move through the shoulder girdle in kind of a circular action, feeling through all those muscles that hold that shoulder blade onto the rib cage. Try the same thing in the opposite direction, just gliding your way through. Getting those shoulders nice and warm. Then we see, could we set the shoulder position? So what we want to be doing is engaging the core muscles, getting wide across the shoulders, and think about the front of the chest and the back of the shoulders. So you're getting the chest wide and the shoulder blades broad as well. Tucking the bottom of the ribs up, keeping the abdominal grip strong. Whenever you're ready, we're going to see if we could very subtly draw the shoulder blade down towards the opposite back pocket. So it's kind of like you're trying to tuck that shoulder blade down diagonally across the back of your body. But we need to keep everything working on the front of the body so we don't just collapse into it. Keep the strong tuck, keep the strong abdominal grip. What we're trying to imagine is the anchor points on the shoulder blades. Shoulder blades drawing down towards opposite back pockets. They're also pulling wide, and they're also getting lifted up and pulled onto the rib cage in that way. So they've got supports all around and they're held onto the rib cage. From there, we're going to see if we can stay completely still. Just reach one arm forwards and bring it back. Stay completely still and just reach the other arm forwards and bring it back. If you want to make it more tricky, walk the arms forwards, bring the shoulders over the hands, walk the knees backwards, keep the shoulders over the hands. From there, again, same thing, reset the shoulder position. So you're kind of wheeling them back a little bit, just getting that little bit of external rotation, that little bit of prep for external rotation, tucking the bottom of the ribs down, flattening out that upper back, broadening across the chest and the back of the shoulders. From there again, one arm forwards, bring it back, and other arm forwards, bring it back, feeling your way through. If you're feeling particularly strong and stable through the shoulder blade, you could come up to this full plank position, but remember, we want to be extending in front of the hips. We want to be tucking the pelvis so that lower back doesn't get compressed. We want to be tucking the bottom of the ribs down, broad across the shoulders, strong through the spine, and that shoulder position stays the same as you lift one hand and then lift the other hand. So you can see how difficult that is for me. I do this quite a lot as well, so really pay attention to the detail, make it challenging for yourself. It's really easy for me to do it like this, where there's plenty of movement and not much shoulder control. Core control, shoulder control, nice flat plank, broad across the chest and the shoulders, and stay as still as you can. You can also lift the opposite leg if you want to. Let's go for a couple more. Try and grip the floor with your fingers to support those wrists. Whenever you're ready, rest the knees down and give the hands a little shake out. Let's give those wrists a bit of a rest. Okay, whenever you're ready, bring yourself back into that plank position. Shoulders over the hands, knees either under the hips if you want it easy, behind the hips if you want it more tricky, or lifted if you want it really tricky. Really pay attention to that core strength, that shoulder position. Width across the shoulders, length through the spine, strong connection between the ribs and the pelvis. We're going to bring a little vinyasa into our practice. So, bringing it down towards Chaturanga Dandasana, so you bend the elbows, and then pushing it back towards down dog. Bringing it back forwards to your plank, lowering it down to Chaturanga Dandasana. Pushing it back towards your down dog. Gently pedal through the legs. Don't feel like the legs need to be straight in down dog, just as comfortable as they need to be. Bring yourself forwards to plank. Lowering your way down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Now rest onto the floor. Lift the top of the chest up and forwards, little mini cobra position. And then from there, tuck the toes, push into the legs, and push your way slowly back to down dog. All of this can be done with the knees down, remember. Bringing it down to Chaturanga Dandasana. Lifting the chest, big inhale. And then exhale. Pushing your way back to down dog. Bringing it forwards to your plank, lowering down, Chaturanga Dandasana, lifting the chest up and forwards, and tucking and pushing your way back to down dog. Let's just go for a couple more. Bring it forwards, lower down, Lifting up, chest lifts up and forwards, bottom of the ribs tucked down. So it's just the upper back, it's thoracic extension. And then push into the hands, bring your way slowly back to down dog. The last one, bring your way through, lowering down, lifting that chest up and forwards, keeping that tuck of the abs. Pushing your way slowly back to your down dog. From there, right leg comes forwards, push your way back up. So we're in this lunge position, deep as feels comfortable, bend the knees as deep as you can, knee, ankle, hip alignment on both legs, and tuck the pelvis. So we're lengthening into this back leg, hip flexor. Now reach the arms up, breathe, big deep breaths. Feel your way through the feet. And then bring the arms down as you come up, and exhale, bring yourself back down as you reach the arms up. Try and feel for your right glute working quite strongly to hold you in this position, to keep the knee over the ankle, and this left knee coming straight down, keeping the tuck to lengthen into the hip flexor. Last two. Last one. So if you want to, you could bring that little vinyasa in, so you'd step back to down dog. You bring it forwards towards your plank, lower down to Chaturanga Dandasana. Lift the chest up and forwards, up dog or cobra. Tuck the toes behind, push your way back to down dog. In your own time, left leg comes forwards, walking the hands back, bringing your way back up. Same thing the other side. So I'll turn this way. Deep lunge, tuck the pelvis, lengthen into the front of that hip flexor. Exhale as you come down. Inhale as you bring your way back up. So nice and deep as feels comfortable. Make sure the hips are square though. Make sure the knee stays over the ankle, and try and think about pulling the back leg forwards and the front leg backwards to build up that stability. Really nice, and we bring in that vinyasa if you want to. Hands come down, step the leg back, push back to down dog, pedal through. Bring it through to plank, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Up dog or cobra, and then pushing your way back to down dog. Pedaling through. Now whenever you're ready, lower the knees down, bring the elbows down to the floor. So we've already done this gliding action. We're going to try it in a dolphin position now, so it gets a bit more tricky. So remember, elbows, wrists, shoulders in line with each other. Absolutely crucial. Tuck the toes behind you, and then very gently see if you could lift the knees a little. And then from there, bring yourself forwards a bit and push yourself back a bit. You can always lower the knees when you come forwards, and you might lift the knees when you go back, just to get used to that. So building up that strength into the arms. If it's feeling good, you could start to bring yourself to that full dolphin position. You don't have to be straight leg. Remember, you can always bend the legs if the hamstrings are giving you jip. And then you bring yourself forwards towards the plank, or kind of modified plank, push your way back. But remember all the things we were doing in plank, that shoulder position, those abdominal muscle positions, just gliding through. So, feeling your way through a couple more while I sort out my clothing malfunction. And then, in your own time, take a little bit of a break. I'll show you what we're going to do while you take a little bit of a break. From here, we're going to see if we could shift the knees towards the elbows and then lift them till we get a bit closer. And then see, as we straighten the legs out, how it feels. So just very gently, getting close as you can with those knees, gradually increasing the stretch a little, but just feel your way through, just glide it nice and steady. And then if you're getting close, you might feel that you can start to look back towards your feet and bring yourself into that inverted position. Take it nice and steady. I'll show you again. So, feet come nice and close, and as you straighten those legs out, you might notice that you could look back and relax the head down towards the floor a little. So then you get that decompression into the neck, and you're really building up strength into the arms now. Relax whenever you're ready. Take a moment, bring yourself to child's pose, have a few breaths. Really nice. So it's that dolphin position again. So elbows shoulder width, wrist shoulder width, spread the fingers, grip the fingertips, and then lift the knees. So we're back here. Then we walk the feet a bit closer. We just feel our way through there. Find a position where you can just hold it, push the armpits back towards the feet, bringing yourself into that dolphin position like you would in down dog, and then lift one leg off the floor if you want to. Then we can hold this balance, keep those hips level, very gently. Breathing through, changing legs whenever you're ready. Same thing other side. So here we go with stage 2, just lifting one leg. And then stage 3, the final stage, I'm going to do this towards the wall so that I don't collapse in a heap. I would suggest if you're going to attempt this, you do it next to something that can take your weight and you can rest your feet on, and really try and resist the temptation to kick up and just jump into it, because it can go drastically wrong. So take your time. Make sure you've built up that strength. This is, repeat this class until you're really building up the strength to rest here. And then eventually you might be able to lift the leg and go light on the other leg. So then you just bring that little bit of bounce into it. And you can notice I'm a bit out of practice on this one, and that's why my foot is thudding back down. But I can just about do it safely. Take your time and change legs regularly. Make sure you're trying with both legs. In time, you might get to the point where you can feel that you're getting that little bit of sort of weightlessness, those few moments where you're just sort of hanging in the air, and you might be able to stay there. And then you can use that wall for one leg and then work towards taking that leg away from the wall. And you might get a few moments, you might get ages. Comment below as well if you do get somewhere with it. Please let us know, it'd be nice to see the comments. Have a few goes, enjoy it, be playful, be grateful, be compassionate towards yourself. Do not force it, try not to lead with your ego. I know this is very much playing towards the ego, but just try and be really gentle with yourself and work through it steady. Don't force it. Bring yourself down to rest whenever you're ready. Into child's pose one more time. In your own time, gradually starting to bring your weight onto your back. Bring the knees into the chest gently. Have a little rock side to side, a rock front to back. And then just rest the feet onto the floor, feet hip width, knees hip width. And just bring your hands above you. So then above your head, just looking at your hands. They're above your face, sorry, not above your head. And then we start to bring them above our heads, but try and see if you could reach the fingers all the way back and put the fingertips on the floor. And then just rest there with that very gentle wrist stretch, that very gentle hand and finger stretch. Coming up into the forearm. Try and keep the elbows drawing towards each other. Try and keep those wrists at shoulder width as well. You might be able to creep the hands towards the shoulders. Again, keep those elbows drawing in. Feel your way into it. See if you can get your hands into a nice neutral position. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Very slowly, nice and relaxed. Bringing the arms back down by the side, stretching those legs out. Nice final resting position, feet uncrossed, arms uncrossed. Hands relaxing by the sides of the body, palms facing up, natural curve in the fingers. Legs straight unless you get discomfort in your back, in which case you might bend them and rest them flat on the floor, or you might rest them on a sofa or a bed, or you might put some cushions behind your knees. So there's a lot of challenging work that's just been happening, allowing everything to relax, settle in, observing the breath as your body moves to create it. Observing the mind as it wanders and comes back, and wanders and comes back. Or maybe it doesn't. Maybe you just feel really calm and in the moment. And that's great. Enjoy it. Be with it. Channeling that breath all the way down to the bottom of the belly, all the way up to the collarbones and the shoulders. Exhaling all the way out from the bottom of the belly, all the way up to the shoulders and the collarbones. Inhaling, refreshing, renewing. Exhaling, just letting go. Just in your own time, if you want to, starting to have a little move around. If you're feeling really relaxed and you just want to stay here, then stay here. There's no need for you to bring yourself out unless you're ready to. If you want to, give the toes a wiggle, give the fingers a wiggle, give the face some movement. Stretch out, roll about, curl up in a ball, roll on your side, whatever you want to do. Slowly, gently, calmly, with awareness, maybe with the eyes still closed, gradually starting to bring your way back up to a seated position. Any comfortable seated position will do. Only come into it if you want to. Letting the chin come down to the chest, taking a big long inhale from the bottom of the belly. And as that breath brings up into the chest, comes up into the chest, and the shoulders gradually starting to lift the head, slowly starting to open the eyes. And we'll finish there. Well done, thanks for joining in. Take care, bye.